Good morning, everyone. It's so glad to see you up at this time for our leadership series. And this is one that was added relating to our membership regional grants. What were some of the activities that we were involved with that? And so some of us are going to share. And when I call your name, I would like for you to share the information that you would like to inform our members, and so that they can get some ideas, not only just for a regional, but if you're doing something just with your local, these ideas are for any of those types of activities. We can start with Teresa Chapman.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'd like to share our membership grant program for 2025. We hosted it at Fayetteville Technical Community College in Fayetteville. Our goals were to increase members' awareness of useful quality of life information, to increase the visibility of the North Carolina retired school personnel in the region, and to create a list of educator retirees with contact information from which to recruit. We were actually able to recruit a couple. I didn't want to say to recruit. I wanted to give myself some objectives that I could realize, and we did realize all of these objectives. We wanted to offer a region event somewhat different from our regular local and regional general meetings, and feature topics that we thought would interest our members and would bring out members that usually don't come to meetings, as well as attract retirees in the community. We also wanted the topics presented by experts in the particular areas. The event was called Senior Topics. The topics selected were scams, including deed stealing, and it was presented by Sarah Perdue of the North Carolina Department of Justice, Outreach and Policy Advisor, Public Protection. And they are found at ncdoj.gov. This division of North Carolina Department of Justice responds to speaker requests within 48 hours. The second topic was choosing a nursing home, and it was presented by the Mid-Carolina Area Agency on Aging. And this agency was recommended by AARP. And the third topic was brain health, including physical, social, emotional, and nutritional. And it was presented by an engaging pair of ladies from AARP. We selected the last Monday in February 24th, for our event to give us our March meetings and April meetings in our locals to invite and recruit potential members who may have come to our senior topics but did not join. To publicize senior topics, we sent an email to all region members who had a working email, as well as a phone invite to all region members with a working phone. We also sent emails to a list of region retirees we had from the last 2 to 3 years, received when Sid Baker was sending out the people who had left NCAE. And we had Cumberland County retirees from our June 2024 retiree celebration who had not joined, and anyone else on our potential member list that we had encountered. Members could respond to their local president or to me, the region director, because we needed account for lunch. And we made it an each one, reach one event, encouraging each member to bring a potential member with them. We gave door prizes and we posted flyers in the public library in Cumberland and our 2 new senior centers. And we also announced to other locals other than Cumberland that we would reimburse travel if they carpool. I happened to speak to Sid Baker before the event, and this was, of course, before, during the time that we were working with the North Carolina Fund for Public School Children, and he asked if he could come to the meeting to thank the members for their previous participation in that, and I thought that was a great idea. And we also asked him to talk about member benefits and why join the organization as well. Due to various illness during that time in February, we had only 4 of our locals to participate, but we were glad to get 4 locals out. We had, of course, Cumberland, Robinson, Hoke, and Scotland to participate. Successes from the event. These topics did bring out a number of members who hadn't been coming to the meeting, and we had a member and a spouse who came who hadn't been to a meeting in 10 years. We had 4 prospective members who were invited by current members to attend. 1 joined at the event, and 1 joined later in April at our local meeting. The lady who joined at the event was from Hope County, and she had been driving her.
Call me when you get off that, please.
She had been driving her 90-plus-year-old father to meetings, and after listening to see it, she said, "It's time that I join." She said, "I'm a retired teacher, and my lesson was ask drivers." A driver's is often a relative, and it should be expected that a retired relative might also be a retired teacher. So that was a lesson for me with that. The other 2 potential members haven't yet joined, but I have followed up with a gentleman who brought his wife. She was a new retiree, and she is planning to join. They had a trip to Europe this summer, so they were kind of cutting down on expenses, but I expect for them to join, her to join in the fall. And the 4th potential member is the retiring local president for Hoke NCAE. And she's trying to decide between whether she wants to take the leadership role in NCRSP in Hoke County or join with us over here in Cumberland County. Of course, the region wants her to take the leadership role in Hoke County. In our grant, we also mentioned doing a second senior topics south of Fayetteville, but we didn't get a chance to do that. We sort of ran out of time. So what we're doing for those locals is we've prepared some membership recruitment materials and mail to them. We are encouraging all of our locals to contact retiring members, as some are invited to functions. Scotland County is invited to a function. Robinson County was informed of some areas where retiring teachers were gathering, and they were planning to meet there and distribute some materials. And Richmond is planning its own recruiting event. And we mailed materials to Richmond County. Our largest expenses were food and beverages. And we've used most of our $1,000. And are there any questions? Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Teresa. They're very interesting. You had an excellent event. And I know that everyone enjoyed listening to your, I see a hand, Ginger has a hand. Oh, she was saying great job, I think.
Thank you.
Okay, Sonia Edwards, your presentation at this time.
Okay. We had, Mark Hamilton has done a great job of picking things from the list that was provided by the state for several years back of things to do for members at each meeting. He challenges the group that is active and shows up at the meetings to do things, but we had never tried just one singular event devoted to membership. So one of our goals was to try to make inroads with learning the NCIE members in Watauga County, and the president of the Watauga unit happened to be a student of mine. So I got in touch with her and asked her what we could do to interact. And so the idea from her was, well, maybe we could just have something after school one day and do it as a little social. So we came up with the idea of a tea party. And then we expanded on that a little bit and decided we'd make it a Mad Hatter's tea party. And we would come in costumes of the characters from Wonderland. So it we expanded from there. We learned about each other that we are quite willing to put ourselves out there and be silly, as well as be serious for the recruiting of memberships. So we scheduled this Mad Hatter's Tea Party and invited retirees in the area that we knew still had not joined us, plus the NCAE members, plus people in other counties to come and join with us. So Cindy came and Sandra Hatley, and then we had Cindy Sellers brought a guest, and we had some visitors from Ashe County as well. So that was, they were our honorees. We invited Colleen Lanier to speak to us about the wonder of retirement in the wonderland of retirement, and the pros and cons of things to be on the lookout for. Over involvement being one of them, but we had the refreshments, of course, for a tea party fair, and we worked the scenario was to have characters present different parts of it. So the caterpillar had the opening part of "Who are you?" and each got a chance to introduce themselves. We sang "How do you do?" and shake hands. And then we had the Mad Hatter, who gave hats to people who didn't come in costume. And it was surprisingly, a lot of people did come in costumes. We made photographs with the characters. We had contacted overall about 20 people to invite that we knew were retired and NCAE. And of that, 5 people came who were retired teachers. And then we only had 2 of the NCAE people, but it's a start. And of the ones who came, we had 2 to join, and we have 3 that they have those applications with them, and we're going to follow up for sure. But it had 2 prongs. We wanted to definitely work on membership and making us more visible to NCAE. Plus, we were wanting people to enjoy a meet and greet together. And so of the 19 or 20 people that we contacted, we're still working toward involving them at some point. I was interested in Linda's statement about 7 touches. So I think we're into that approach to keep going back and keep going back. And then finally, maybe they will want to be a part of our group. But it was fun, and it was frivolous, and it was serious. And I think one of our members said, well, let's do this again next year, or something similar. That will be a concerted effort to work on membership. Sorry about my phone, but that's my report.
Are there any questions? Very good. I like that, because being an English teacher, I could see the characters and all of that, drama, activity, making it fun. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wish you could see the pictures. They are so cute.
Okay, then maybe you can share those with us later if you don't have them.
If I might say, somebody sent it to me this morning, I guess. And so I was going to forward the pictures to Ginger for the panorama. We'll pick out one that we can use. And so when you're having these meetings, if you can do a little write up.
Okay, thank you, President Linda. Is June Person, is she on? June? Anyone heard anything from her?
She's traveling and she's up in Canada, and she didn't know. What I'll do is I'll call her, because she's going to have to stop somewhere probably to get Wi-Fi. I think she has one of those things that you have to do to get internet. So I'll call her right now.
All right. Okay, does anyone want to share anything while she's doing that, so that when I get ready to do my presentation, she'll be on? Will you be able, want me to go on and start mine? Oh, she's on.
Yeah, just go ahead and start. Don't wait for it.
Okay, all right then.
Okay.
Jen, your hand is up.
I just had my hand up for a question, but I didn't realize you were starting this. I just want to know, how are we to send in are we to email our reports to get it to the committee quickly and then send our receipts later, or should we scan the receipts and send them along with the report?
I think that's a Tara question. I'm not sure.
Okay.
You want to go ahead and send part of it and just have a note that you'll be sending receipts
Okay.
later on, and we can connect the two together here.
Okay, thanks.
But also, I think if you send one thing and then you send something later, the receipts, you're not going to get the money until we have it all. So it doesn't seem like it would be better to just go ahead and send them all. Because we're going to have a meeting as a committee to look over this stuff and then approve the amount of money that each group would get.
Okay.
And it's always helpful if you have like a list. So, we don't have to add everything up. And so you say it's like so much for this event and these are the expenses. And
I've already got that. Yeah, that's on my report, in my report.
Okay, that helps a lot. We had to send it back last time. It was taking too long to figure out what the money was. But we'll get an answer for you. We get Tara to email everybody.
Okay, will you answer? Okay then. All right, from Region 7A, for our membership growth grant, at first, we are a very large region, and so we decided to divide ourselves into the northeastern region to have the same event, but have it in the northeastern section, with those local units being more in charge and volunteering, and then the east. And, but we end up, because of time and some things that didn't work out with the, east. So we just decided to have one, and that was in the northeast, area. And a lot of them still participated, but, that part of our grant did not, excuse me, we did not incur, but we still have the information that I'm giving today is the same information that we were going to do in two, areas of our region. Okay, you probably see water and let me go back to that. We thought about the being the end of the year, we thought about retirees, you know, everybody want to go to the beach and relax. So so we came up with the ideal of creating a beach type of theme and carry it through with the interactive activities that we were going to be involved. So our event was interactive. It was a floating event where the participants or the attendees were able to, and you will see all of this in a few minutes, so I won't go too far. I'll just go over the goals right now. These were the goals for our grant and $1,000. And we wanted to publicize, communicate to retirees and potential members about joining our organization. And as I stated, our membership interactive event, we had theme activities, and all of them were centered around the beach. We also did an evaluation with the attendees. We will discuss the members who were involved, and prospective members, number of members that we had to join, and any leaders that we identified. Okay, we also invite retirees, and we also, as I stated, I just went over that information. And we also provided information about membership benefits, membership dues, our organization, our resources, volunteerism in the community, testimony of members. We did interactive activities with the participants, and we also partnered and tried with the local units to get them involved in when we were communicating and publicizing that we were having this event, and also our local NCAE local units. Some of the methods that we used to publicize, we did use flyers. We also, all of the local units were given flyers that they could issue, or they could post on their websites. We did emails, personal contact, announcements at churches and organizations. And we also had local units that they had newsletter, any method that they could use, social media, invitations. We also had some of them to contact the central office. Some of them had end of year celebrations where they were able to get a list of some of the members. So these are not the only ones, but these are some of the main ones that we knew that this was most important. Number one, we had to communicate, we had to publicize, we had to let them know that we were in starting kind of late with our grant. By the time we really started working on, we worked on it from starting in December. And then we were, like I said, then we really started with the finalizing the activities and everything, probably around about February. This is a flyer that we created, Cash the NCR. This was our main thing. Cash the NCRSP Wave Join Us. And it was held, and this was the flyer, as I stated, it was held Saturday, May the 17th from 11 to 2. North Carolina Retired School Personnel Membership Interactive Event. We also made copies. We gave out these to potential members, retirees. And on it, we said, dive into, let them know that it was an active and engaged activity, that what we want to be participate, PowerPoint presentation, testimony, reasons, and give them some ideas of what the interactive event was going to consist of. And come ashore, we were still trying to keep the theme of, as we stated there, about being in the beach. They were going to receive gift bag, refreshments, application flyers, brochures, surveys, and the location was at my church, Bethlehem Missionary Baptist Church Fellowship Hall, and that was in Rocky Mount. These are two of our volunteers from Northampton, Halifax, Northampton local. And in the center of the fellowship hall at my church, we also had the banner with the theme "Catch the NCRSP Wave, Join Us," and we can use this banner again if we have something. And then I was intending to order, and another reason why I kind of got behind because I had death in my family, and that didn't keep things from stopping. But I was intended to do some other things so that I could have it like look like waves. I was going to order for Amazon, but I didn't get a chance. So anyway, it worked out. I got this is a tablecloth, and it looked like it had waves in it. I said that'll work. So that's what we did. Then we divided into tables, and the first area was the registration table, and the theme for that was dive in, membership awaits. And this is the fellowship hall, and the registration Northampton Halifax, they were in charge of this area, and so they brought their own background and tablecloths, and you would see that they had it set up with the sign-in sheets, and those are our they gave raffle tickets, and they also in their bags. Okay, the gift bags included I wrote that down because I didn't do that. They have an inflatable beach ball, pen, inspiration, small booklet, notebook, or folder. And these bags that you see there, they can carry those around as they went to the different tables, and so that they could pick up the different materials and different our things that we had, a little gift. And so that was the registration table. And as I stated, these were some of the things. We also had a welcome letter. We had to let them know, and we had information to let them know what was going to be at every interactive at the tables, the descriptions, and we had the name of the themes, and so that they related. They did a little getting to know you activity. Also, as I stated, we had the evaluation, and they gave them appreciation gifts in the bags. This is a potential, well, she is a new member. She's John, and she's filling out her signing in at the table, and so I got a picture of her. We got a picture of her as she was coming in, and also they made a little hands with some of our locals. We got Bertie. I can't see what the other one is, but I forgot what that one. I think it's Ethan Saron. But anyway, she had that on the table, like welcoming them for the doing the registration. And you can see the table there, hurt for some of our local units there. And also there were sign-in sheets for the volunteers as well as the retirees and potential members that was coming in, so we could keep a record of that. And they had a beach ball and all of that too that you'll see. And here you see our Region 7A director there at the picture there, and that's the bags. You can see the bags that we gave out, and they had everything set out, and they have the gifts down below there. They gave out gifts with the tickets. They did some kind of drawing with that. And so this is the two young ladies. This is Emily Edwards and also Valerie Williams. They are a member of Halifax, Northampton, and they were in charge, as I stated, their area with the registration information. Our next table area was belonging has never been this cool. Regional director was worked with that. And you'll see that I've used the round tables, and I also had posters printed with the title on the table. We used lanterns, and we put one of the person let me use real shells from the beach, and so we put that in there to make it look like to make it beachy. And we also had tablecloths that had the little turtles on them and the color blue. And this is when you went to the information. Some of these you might not see the information on, because I took pictures of everything before we put information on the table so I could have it both ways. So it was we had in this area we talked about all about us, our mission, our purposes, our brochure, the website, contact information, testimony, and so that's what was going on when they came to that table. The table 3, not just members, leaders on deck. And that's an example of the table before everything was put on it. And so you see that we do have the poster and the lanterns, and there are shells in there also from the beach. Okay, as a leader of Region 7A, our Director Vivian Branch provides information on being a leader. She talks about leadership structure, our administrative council, executive board, and the location of our local units in Region 7A. And you see that on her table, that was the table that she was working with. She has flyers and different things that she was giving out. And she can say something after we finish with this. Okay, table 4 was entitled Membership We Anchor, Benefits We Dock. And I guess you know who had that table. It was true. Okay, I'm standing at the table, and that's my poster. And you see the different things that I had. And also you're gonna see, you can't see it right now, but I had a continuous PowerPoint that was telling about what NCRSP is, our benefits, all the things that were going on in there as they walked around. They could see that on the screen, on the TV that we had, and it just was continuously with the PowerPoint. On my table, I had the applications, I had instructions on how to complete, and I went over that with them when they were going to fill those out. Reason to join, membership benefits. This was one that they were quite interested in. You know, they wanted to know what they're going to get when they join. And so I enjoyed talking to them. You see, I got my booklet there with the benefits, and building relationships, the brochure again. Panorama newsletter. They like my newsletter so well. After I asked Vivian where were my newsletters, but it was all right. But they took them with them. Whoever, I don't know who took them, but this all right. So I end up without having any left mind that I had, but that's fine. But they did read them, and they looked at them, and it was fine that they took them. So at least they have some ideas of some things that we do that would encourage them to join. I also had little prizes on my table, or they could get the pens, and I had inspirational little booklets. I also told them about our conferences, our conventions, our local units meetings, how they were in our workshops that we have, leadership training like we are doing now. So I went over that information and discussed it with them. Area table 5 with membership is the breeze. This is one of the new members. She took a picture there, and then she looks like membership is cool. It's a breeze, so I put her picture up there. And the volunteers at that table, they talked about membership types, payment methods, affiliations, membership deduction, anything dealing with dues. That was they covered that, and that was Edith and Shawan. They've had that table. If you look up there, you can kind of see the screen there behind them. That was my where I had my information about membership, and they were giving out information, and they had their folders. And you see a little fan there. That fan there, they came up with that idea, and it was like blowing out a breeze, and so it went with their theme. And Marshall, Jeanette, I can't think of the other two names, but they are members of that local. So they had a ways to come, but they came. Table 6, tidal wave knowledge surfaced the opportunity. That was the opportunity, that was the area that we had for them when they walked around. And at this table, we had flyers dealing with membership insurance. And I picked up a lot of this when I was at the convention. And so I had, my bag was full when I left there. Health awareness, targets about healthcare fraud, information from the state employment about being scanned, Humana, Go 365, civil sneakers, and they were really excited about, you know, these things that we have to offer them when they do join. The hearing care, supplementary benefits, dental repairs, Pierce Insurance, CHIP, and also there was a little card that we gave them that had important numbers with Humana that we gave out. And so that's what we were doing at that table. And then we had some members, then you can see the some, you can see some of them are closed up there. The next table was Region 7A Beach Resort. This is the area where they had a chance to play games. And you can see there, it was game time. So they went there, they had they could play bingo. And when they played bingo, and she had a little spinner there. No, that was for my spin, that was for the other thing. The bingo, and they played bingo and they would get prizes. And we also had a spin the wheel. When they spin the, when they did that, whatever it stopped on, she would ask a question from the brochure, different things from some of the areas that we had there. And if they got them correct, then they would get a prize. And you can see some of the and attendees that came and how she's having fun there with them where they played in the game. The 8th table we had was Beachy Waterfront, Volunteerism Awaits. I wanted our Region 7A, we was trying to get her to be there, but she had to attend a funeral since she was our Volunteer of the Year. But anyway, we brought in some of our brag boys that showed our and some of our awards that we won to show that that we do volunteer. And these are the brag boys. This is one from Eaton Shawan. Then we have from Halifax, Northampton and Edgecombe Nash. And so that they got a chance. And then also I had copies of our convention and to let them know this. Oh, that's nice. I showed them our pictures of our souvenir book, you know, in the back, and they were saying they were very appreciative of that. I said yes, and they were able to see some of the things that we do when they join and they can attend as a delegate. And you also can see up there on the right, you can see I have on the TV screen that says what is NCRSP, and so like I said, different things were being shown as they walked around on the TV on the PowerPoint. The last table, no, not this, not the last. The table where they could get refreshments was called Come Ashore, Crashing Waves of Daily Routine. Join us so that they could sit and relax and eat. So we had Chick-fil-A. We also had snacks. We had candy on the table that they could sit down. And the theme for that is you see. And also we thank them for attending. And then we did at the table that they could sit down. You will see that later. They could do an evaluation. And I'm not gonna read these questions, but you can see that they had an overall satisfaction where they could just circle. And most of them said that they were very satisfied with it and they will attend a similar one. What did they like about it? And I'm going to give you some of the feedback that we got in a few minutes. What was engaging, beneficial, what use of their time, contents and presentations, what were the topics, what did it interest them? Did we present clear and easy information? How were we as the ones that were volunteers at the table to present information? How engaging were they? Logistics and facilities, we asked them about that. And the interactive activities, how well were they satisfied with the food? And networking and organization, and they get a chance to connect with other attendees. And so those were some of the type that they did. And there was options. They didn't have to put their names, but most of the ones that filled it out, they put their names and their telephone numbers. So I said, okay. And we thanked them. And some of the comments were positive. They like to share the information, the unity of the members that they were talking about our region. And quite naturally, they said the food and snack was good, that we were knowledgeable of our information, and they were interested, and they thought that it was beautifully decorated and it was a great beach themes. And you can read those great, conversation, friendliness of the staff. They like to hand out some materials, events, and they like it being a floating event because a lot of them said they had never been to something like that, and where they could get a chance to stop at tables, share, move on to another, pick up things, and make it interactive. And also some of the improvements were that some of them said that they think we should do more advertisement. Like I said, that was a weakness because of the time there frame that we had. I didn't do good. I think we could have done better with our advertisement, you know, as far as reaching out in the community. By the time we got some of our materials, it was like last of April, and then the first, you know, and then May was here before we knew it. Mail invitations, so they was just giving us suggestions of things that we could do. So that was most of the things that they were talking about, how we could improve, maybe to get more people involved that way. And as far as Region 7A members, and we also met monthly, then we started meeting every other week, and near the end, we met every week. And so we had about 25 members. We had, like I said, members from the entire region. And from the whole, we contacted at least 52. I was counting them last night, but there were probably more. We had some that said about 27 said that they would have potential to join. And we did come up with at least 16 new members from the, not just that day, but this was from when we were organizing from February up until that point. And we said that we would do follow-ups on those who said that they will be potential members. Some of us plan to attend some of the end of year school retiree celebrations so that we can get the information out and look at strategies that we can publicize. NCRSP, as I stated, do a better job with that. Continue to volunteer in our community and engage members to move on up and set a goal that they will at least try to talk to or contact one person that they know to join before the end of this year, and encourage leadership. You know, we want to get the younger ones, the ones that are coming out and retiring or whatever, to get them a part of our organization as leaders. And these are just some pictures. This is one of the, where she's sitting down, completing her evaluation at the table. And that's two more that are doing that, and they're conversing among each other. And this is, she's getting ready to pack up at near the end. And that's one of our tables there where we set up with some lanterns, and we had mints for them to sit down. And that's some of them had already left. So this is just at the end where after we were cleaning up. And these were some of the members. And we had more pictures in this, but I try not to, to overdo it. But most of us were busy doing things, and these were pictures were taken at the beginning. And so when it really got started, I told some people, I said, you all forgot to take the pictures or whatever, so everybody was involved. So we did get these through. And that is conclude of the our presentation for the things that we did for our regional grant. And at this time, I will turn it over to Vivian, our regional director, to see if she has something that she wants to say also. And then if anybody has questions.
It was an excellent activity. I really enjoyed it. And I think all of the participants that came, they really enjoyed the theme. So we had a good time.
So exactly how many people came that day to this event? I kind of missed that.
I said we had, I said about 15 that actually came. Mm-hmm. And like I said, it was because I probably would have had more if we had, more time to get out the information. But we got it out, but I think we could have gotten more in that manner. And being on a Saturday and so many people wanted to come, they were said, they had so many other things to go to, but they knew about it, and we did reach out to them. And with us having it at just in the northeastern section, see, we didn't get the people that was from the east. So, we were trying to have something there so that they wouldn't have to come that far. And so we would have had more participation as more people being more involved in that manner. So basically this was from the people from the northeastern part of Region 7A. Just what you saw a few minutes ago.
Well, this is really great. And then things, you have all those materials out. You're so crafty with these names and about the breeze and everything else. I always think that elementary teachers are more creative. I was high school. I never could do things like that.
Well, I'm at school too. English, but
well, you just have creative people. So I mean that really, those are things that, I don't know. It's almost like if everybody kind of wrote a report? Could you write a one-page thing? Because talking about things like that, because those ideas would, of course, they could listen to video, but that's something that somebody else could use and they could kind of adapt it to, you know, their own thing.
Right. Okay, any other questions? The June, is she gonna be able to come on?
But
June?
Gretchen's on. June was on a gas station getting something fixed on her camper, I guess. And so I hit up Gretchen. She's got a few minutes before she has to go in for a doctor's appointment. So she is online. She's down here at the bottom. She's using her phone. So she'll just kind of talk through briefly, you know, what they did. Okay, Gretchen?
Okay.
Good morning, everybody. I'm sorry I'm not getting a video. It for some reason it thinks I'm driving even though I am parked. So you're just going to get my voice. We started trying to do something with Henderson County about a year and a half ago. We went and met with some former leaders and you know, tried to encourage them to see if we could get something over there. And we're not successful with them. So when we had an opportunity, we decided that what we would try to do was to hold a retirement workshop for the folks who were actives, with the idea that if we gave information and held them in CSP, that we could then encourage them to members. But we had set it up in October, and heaven forbid, the Blue Ridge Community College nearly got washed away in October during Helene. So that was not going to be happening. So we regrouped and decided we would do it this spring. So the superintendent, believe it or not, of Henderson County Schools was excellent to work with, and he sent out our invitations to the retirement workshop, and we really appreciated that. Then we did mailings to the folks who were retired, and a lot of our members in Henderson are not active at all. We heard back from some people. We invited them. What we did is on Saturday, May the 3rd, in the morning, we had about 70 people, maybe more, who came and participated in the talk shop. As part of that, we did two things. Since they could be active members, we also had the UniServe director come, Tommy, and he, you know, at the end did a whole thing for actives. But we also did a pitch for, number one, if you were going to be retiring at the end of the year, of the 2025 year, that, you know, if you join now, you don't have to pay anything till September. And try to get them involved, maybe to go on and if they were to retire. Then after we were doing the retirement workshop, the 1A folks came in and asked the Henderson County folks to join us because we were doing an update on legislative information, and we thought that that would be of interest to them, especially about the fact that, you know, we were trying to get the 2%, etc. So we had a small response, but we feel like we can do more if we can get out there and do something. So we're going to organize some mailings. We've got the email addresses and the cell phone numbers and that kind of thing. So we're going to do a big mailing and recruitment there. And the next thing we're going to try with Henderson is we're going to set up invitation to so that Henderson could be a part of a Buncombe County meeting, or Henderson could be a part of a Transylvania County meeting. In other words, what we were looking for was, if you don't want to have your own, you can certainly come be a part of another NCRSP group. So that's where we are right now. And it's like we're out digging ditches. I tell you what, it's been really hard. She's done really, great. And
You're breaking up, Gretchen. I don't know if it's your phone.
yeah, because I'm in the parking lot over at the hospital and I only have a 5G. So I hope that helps a little bit. I just I just think we have to appeal to get, people involved, because the only way that we are going to be able to increase our retirees' income is if we band together and make the General Assembly a whole lot more friendly to our retirees. Okay. So thank you so very much. And I've got to go in here and have my mammogram. Yay! Talk to you all later. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Gretchen.
June did say when I talked to her that she has the letter that she wrote to the Henderson County Superintendent, and she said she stressed in that it was just a blind letter because she didn't really know who he was. But she said, I've done these retirement workshops in Buncombe County. You can check with that superintendent. And so she must have got, good reviews from the Buncombe County superintendent. So the Henderson County was able to send that information out. So Colleen, she will, come various places to do these workshops. So if you do need something done, that is one way to really encourage people to come to a meet and greet. I've got that picture, but I'm not sure if I can share it or not. No, I gotta go back. It's in my email, so I'm just not sure. That didn't make it. Has everybody else gone? Did Teresa go?
Yes, Teresa did.
I did go, yes.
Yeah, everybody has presented.
Okay. Can you see that picture now?
Yes, we see it now.
There they are. The Mad
That's good. That's very good.
That's the character.
We got some other ones, but I don't. Well, let's see if I can. It's got the arrow over here. Oh, there we are. How about that? So she can do a great little write up. Pick out which picture you want to use, and so this is Colleen.
Colleen.
She's in her own costume. Yeah, so that's really cool. But this group in Watauga is very creative.
Yes, President Linda, everybody has presented, and we appreciate it. And all of these, I know that we all can get great ideas and share among our locals and regions. And there may be one part that you like and you can use, you can change. And so we can be flexible. I enjoy listening to all of those, and everybody did a great job. Thank you.
Yeah, I think this is fabulous because I just heard about the different groups and what they were doing, and so kind of threw the workshop together. And now, thank you for taking the lead. I kind of I was tired this morning. So I suddenly said, "Oh, it's 10 o'clock." I didn't realize
Okay.
that late. So thank you so much. Everybody just, we just have to keep it up, and share these different ideas. And, sometimes it just doesn't work out. You don't have a lot of people show up, but you just work with what you have. And I remember hearing Teresa's story, and she met people from different places, and she said, I think I almost have a leadership team now for this one local that they have that only has a president. So she's been working on building up to maybe 5 people to have a leadership team. So it's all those contacts and who you meet, and don't forget anybody. Always come back to them and make sure that they join. Okay, Ginger.
Okay, I just wanted to speak for a minute about what Region 1B has done. We've done something different from, even though Watauga has had this wonderful tea party, but I used a lot of the money, most of the money that from the grant to order supplies for all of the local units. I've got postcards, regional postcards that have been ordered so that every local unit will have their postcards with their branding on it. I am so into branding for NCRSP. And then I've got posters that I've ordered that I've put together and have ordered for all the local units to put in every school in their area. So and then too, we spent a lot of money on mileage because we have worked really hard to reactivate Avery County, and we've got another meeting with them on Monday. So, we're getting responses from some of these, and with Rutherford County, we've also spent time meeting with them and encouraging them to get busy and activate. So I think that that's part of what our goal was, to get the 2 units in our local units in our region that were not active to see what we can do for them. So that's just one of the things, that's part of what we spent most of our money for.
That's excellent. Glad to hear that. Mhm. Are there any other questions, comments? Okay, then.
All right. Well, we appreciate this, and I'm sure we're going to get this video. We'll probably stop the recording, and Julie will be able to put this on the website for people to listen.